This is the International Center for Studies in Creativity at Buffalo State College, and this is our 4th out of 5 forums for CRS 635, Creativity and Change Leadership. And this forum is called Creativity Around the World, a forum on cultural connections and international work. And I'm thrilled today to have 3 of my colleagues with us, and they are Marci Segal, who is founder and president CreativityLand and co-founder of World Creativity and Innovation Day.
Week,
Thank you, week. We have Randah Taher, and Randah is also from Toronto, just like Marci. The 2 of them are from Toronto, and she's an educator, facilitator, coach, Contagious Creativity. And via Skype, we have Sebastian Salicru. And Sebastian is from Melbourne. He is a psychologist, a principal consultant, and founder of Professional Consulting Training Services. So in a minute, I'm going to ask our 3 speakers to introduce themselves. And but just to say a little bit, there's lots of wonderful, wonderful things that they can share. The forum is for our studio audience, our 635 students. We have another level of novelty at this forum, and that is that we are streaming live. So that alumni, faculty, and students worldwide can also join in and watch this live. And again, we have Sebastian on Skype. So before they introduce themselves, a little bit about Marci that I'd like to say, and that is that Marci continues to be someone who energizes me and gets me excited and inspires me around creativity.
Shoot.
So.
Wow.
And Marci came to Buffalo State as an undergraduate, and her teachers were Sid, and her other teacher, who was a mentor to her, was Ruth Noller. And Marci was our first undergraduate minor graduate, and went on then to get her master's. So I'm thrilled that Marci was able to come as one of our international alum today. Sebastian is part of our Wild Things. Now, the Wild Things is our first cohort of distance students, and they were named that for several reasons. They're all powerhouses. They're all just incredibly wonderful people, and it is one of those cohorts that you will never forget for many reasons. And Sebastian was certainly one of the strong members of that, and I'm so pleased that he could be with us today because I have not seen him in many years. So. Glad you could make it. Randah is one of our newer graduates. Randah came in with the Lucky 7 cohort, and the Lucky 7 may actually call in later during this forum. And Randah decided to accelerate her degree and finish a little before the Lucky 7. And I've been fortunate enough to have Randah in many classes, and she has challenged me and excited me in ways and really got me thinking, and I've just really enjoyed that time. So I really, this is just a special forum, and I thank all of you for coming today. So Marci, a little about yourself. I know I said it all, didn't I?
Yes, and I'm delighted to have started something that is catching on worldwide. And can I talk a little bit about World Creativity? How the week began, where it started, was in Toronto because there was a banner headline in the newspaper that said Canada in Creativity Crisis, and I was annoyed. That's an understatement, annoyed. Being a practicing creativity specialist for many, 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 many years, and I'm speaking to the audience here, there were a lot of closed doors rather than open doors for people with experience and degrees in creativity, and it really, really annoyed me. And it annoyed me because the message that was out there in the mass media that was in this article in 2001 was the question of who is more creative. Is it scientists or is it artists? And I shook. My whole body, I just went, oh, that's not it. It's about how do we use it. It's not about who is and who isn't. And that's what started the whole thing going. And what I realized is that when World Creativity and Innovation Week truly becomes a worldwide celebration that's totally non-sectarian, non-geopolitical, totally inclusive. There will be lots of doors that are open for people who have backgrounds in creativity to find work and to hear people say, yes, you are welcome here, rather than us having to justify what it is that we do and why it's an important thing. And that's part of what's there. Another one is to encourage people to use their creativity to make their world a better place and to make their place in the world better too. So it's about new ideas, it's about imagination, it's about new decisions, it's about finding time to do something a little bit differently, to consider other options than what the normal routine is, to find opportunities where before they might have considered obstacles and so on. And we invite absolutely everyone anywhere to join in the energy and to imagine that there will be a worldwide time when all of us will be united in recognizing our creative and what's normal for us to do, and it will be welcome as opposed to slapped away. Is that enough?
So what Marci did was, we were talking last semester, I think, and she said, in what ways might creative studies get more involved? And these forums are an inspiration coming from Marci as part of keeping the conversation going.
Keep the conversation going. The more we talk about it, the more we'll be able to keep it going, and the more we'll be able to help people get over all the mythology that's out there about what is creative and what isn't creative. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is that there are people out there who are putting standards on what creativity is, and their standards are coming from uneducated sources. We have the education. We have an opportunity to have some influence so that people can see and work with it in an equal kind of a way that enables everyone and empowers everyone.
And the dates for it are always April?
Always April 15th, which is Leonardo da Vinci's birthday, and until April 21st. And you can tell that it was Canadians who put this together, because I understand in the United States, April 15th has a different kind of a significance to it.
It's a bit taxing to us.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Randah?
So I want to build on Marci's comment about it is the World Creativity and Innovation Day or Week. I joined in this year, and I'm helping out with different activities. We're doing it mainly in Toronto, but we're getting the vibrations from all over the place. And what I do in general, I facilitate, I teach, sometimes I coach in creativity, specifically in generating ideas, in creating an environment to enhance creativity. I have many passions, actually. I'm just going to limit them. I'm into community building, but in a way of more of a social innovation than just building. Not just bringing people together, but let's make our place even much better. Let's engage the youth from as little as 3 years old who can paint, ugly murals. Who can paint ugly walls into beautiful murals. That's what I want to say. So this is how I'm involved in. I'm interested in design, in sustainable design, in architecture, a lot of things. But I try to focus sometimes. I don't know if it'll work. Who'll tell me? So that's it.
Okay, thanks. And Sebastian, are you still with us from Melbourne, Australia?
Here.
Well, good morning. We're glad you could make it. Maybe you can say a little bit about yourself for us.
Well, as you said, Sue, I am a psychologist. I have to qualify, I'm a business psychologist. Therefore, I work predominantly with organizations. And my interest in the last couple of years, it has been mostly working within the area of high performance and using creativity to help teams and organizations to deliver what we call extraordinary outcomes. So it has been very focused in this particular area of organizational work.
Great. Sebastian, can we have you just come back a little bit so you're,
Okay.
There you go. Then we get a better picture of you. Thanks. All right. That's great. Thank you.
Good.
And
by leaning, you would hear me better.
So what we're going to do is we have, as in past forums, we have some questions that are just conversation starters, basically. And the first one is, so the first part of this forum, we're actually going to talk a bit and maybe have a question from the audience. I'm not sure we'll have time. We're gonna kind of talk through a couple questions. The second part of the forum, then, we're going to open it to 1-800 number calls and to the audience as well. So again, this is novel to us. We'll see how it all goes, but we're pretty excited that our colleagues here in the studio were so high tech. And the phone number's up. You put the phone number up. That's pretty cool. All right, they are so high tech, I don't even know what to think. So thank you, Buff State, for all your great facilities. So the first one, Sebastian, we're going to go to you first, if you
Okay.
would, and that's just to tell us a bit more about what you're doing. Our audience are students at the end of their program. And
Right.
and they're finishing and they're going out and they're wanting to get involved in a lot of different things, and they'd be very interested in hearing the kind of work that you do.
Okay. First of all, I might just say that at the beginning, when I first completed my degree at Buffalo, it took me a while to kind of translate, if you like, my learnings in creativity into my specific field of practice, in the sense that I came out and I very much focus on using a lot of techniques and processes that I've learned. But it took me a little bit longer to kind of put that into what I call a bit of a value proposition for my clients in the area that I worked. And I think that invariably is part of the whole thing. So I would encourage people that are doing the study to start thinking how this will be translated for them in their fields in a way that is going to be quite unique. Because what I found, and again, that might be slightly different in other areas that I meet more in the area of the arts and so forth, but people were not kind of buying creativity for the sake of creativity. People are interested in the corporate area to have results. So it's how you make them see that through creativity and innovation, they'll get those results. And that starts by putting forth a number of ideas and being creative yourself in the way that you make that value proposition, if that makes sense. So it took a little bit of thinking on how to put that into my own style, yeah.
Great, thanks.